It's like coming every morning to meet our second family.
People have talked about the importance of passing on the faith to the younger generations.
My Catholic faith, my church, is a family, so it's hard to step away from that.
Anybody who owns a home would know that things break down over time and buildings need to be maintained.
I always believe that if you know where you're going, you're more likely to get there. So we have a plan in which we reach out to those who are scattered, who've drifted away from the church, and we strengthen those who are gathered together around the table of the Lord. This is an exciting campaign, I think, because first of all, we're finding ways in which we can encourage young people in their love of our Lord in all our different parishes.
The sisters in St. Augustine Parish run different programs. One of the most popular is the after-school program.
It is fantastic that this Family of Faith campaign is going to put that money back into the parishes to hire a youth minister, a young adult minister, to get these ministries off the ground at the local level.
There are 7 universities where there is a Catholic presence in the Archdiocese of Toronto, and we're growing. The number of students who are enrolling in post-secondary education, university and college is growing. We need to ensure that we have a Catholic presence there.
I'm kind of concerned about Catholic faith in my university, so I think that might be a struggle for me, but I'm looking forward to finding it there and enriching my life.
There'll be some energy and financial resources put into the lay ministry programs. We hear a lot from our people that they'd like some sort of ongoing formation in parishes.
I look after all the religious education from our CIA or any adult education, all the sacramental preparation. Very few parishes actually have a layperson employed full-time, particularly a layperson who's theologically trained and is a professional.
The Lay Pastoral Visitors Training Program prepares our parish volunteers to provide pastoral visits and bring Holy Communion to the sick and the shut-ins of our parish communities. The training program for the bereavement ministry provides consolation and hope to a family in a time of grief and loss. Often there are programs in Toronto and it's far for them to travel, and so if we have these regional hubs, they'll be able to benefit from these programs.
We are going to help people present our message of faith and the message of the gospel in this world by training people to be able to do that in public.
It's very important for the church to have a voice in the public square, as they say, because we have a lot to contribute in these areas. These end-of-life issues and euthanasia, they are not going to go away. I think more and more new technology will probably present us with some different questions.
We're looking to set up 10 communication hubs around the Archdiocese of Toronto. Geographically, our diocese is very large, and we're hoping that this is going to bring us together as a family of faith. There may be a faith formation class that's happening in Penetanguishene, in Oshawa, in downtown Toronto. We can connect people with a video link and allow them to share information.
Today, maybe even those who go to church, they may not pick up a bulletin, or they may pick up a bulletin and lose it on the way home. But everyone will spend some time in front of the computer. And so when each parish is able to provide some kind of a website, then I think it's the best way of entering the homes.
I'm used to using my smartphone. I can look up a movie time for Saturday night, and so I want to be able to look up a Mass time for Sunday morning.
So our main project is our new parking lot. We have a small school demolished last year, so it gives us some land.
We intend to overhaul our sound system here at St. Joseph's. It's 25 years old, so it needs a complete overhaul, and as well as repaving our parking lot, which has also seen like 25 years of use.
We replaced the roof on the rectory and the parish centre, and one of the things that we're very concerned about now is just trying to make the building accessible to everyone so that those with wheelchairs will be able to enter and so on.
Each one of us has our home parish, but St. Michael's Cathedral is the parish church for every one of us in our whole family of 2 million Catholics in this area. So I think it's important that it shine, that it be a beacon.
The cathedral is very old. The tower has been completely rebuilt from the top to the bottom. Whole front facade cleaned and washed. We are dignifying our crypt area, putting in new washrooms for the people, a little amphitheater for school groups who come for tours. About 3,000 families come here. We have the same concerns and needs as any other parish across the Archdiocese.
Part of the Family of Faith campaign is to have a fund for starting new churches, new parishes.
We have been building one church every year. That's a great sign, that's a great witness to our society of the growth and of our faith and people who are committed to Jesus and they come together.
It will be somewhere between 11 and $14 million, so that's expensive, and for new parishes it's not easy to get that money and build a new church.
The most important thing is the love of the members of the family for one another, that you gotta take care of the house as well.
There are parishes that have extraordinary needs. If especially a community that is not able to respond fully to its needs, they will receive the support from the Family of Faith.
We're all joined together by the fact that we're all part of this family of faith, the Roman Catholic Archdiocese of Toronto.
In the very earliest days, St. Paul wrote to the people of the community in Galatia, and he said, "So then, whenever we have an opportunity, let us work for the good of all, and especially for those of the family of faith." These words, they speak to us today as well.
You know, when you look at the spiritual aspect and the blessings that all of us have had, it just calls us to be thoughtful, to be understanding of the needs of others. And when we address the needs of others, there's always a financial component to it. And it's now time for us to step up to the plate.
We need to be Christians who aren't just simply there kind of on autopilot or kind of passively, but people who are really engaged. And we do that by the gifts of ourselves, of our time, also financially, and in the way in which we commit ourselves passionately and directly to the mission of the gospel.
We need to ensure that the family of faith that we are building today is here 50, 100 years down the road for the generations to come.
We all belong to one family, and together we're responsible for the welfare of that family. And this campaign helps us to make sure that we have the tools necessary for our family to continue to thrive in the future.
Oh, we loved it every minute of it.
It's been very good to us, the church.